Mr. Frosty coming to you on this Monday. We are in week 2 of these online videos, and we're just keep chugging along. So today I want to introduce a topic that we're going to talk about for the next couple of weeks, or excuse me, for the next week. And it'll probably push in a little bit into this week and then the following week, probably a couple days. But we're going to talk about the science of happiness. And this was a recommendation from someone last week. Brogan actually recommended this from Social Psych. So we're going to dig into this in a methodical way. So we'll walk through some different ideas behind the science of happiness. Mostly, I want to give you some really easy takeaways for how to be happy. So each day we'll focus on one of those recommendations or one of those habits of happy people. And hopefully by the end of it, you have a really strong toolkit together for how to improve your life. Or if you're a really happy person already, then maybe you already do some of these things, or you can just get a little bit better at any of them if you're focusing on that. And I know right now is really a hard time for a lot of people, just dealing with social isolation and just different situations and stresses that are coming. So hopefully these things can help brighten up your day as you go along. So the first thing is the unit overall is called positive psych. So if I were teaching this in our class, it would be the positive psychology unit. And essentially what people who study positive psychology are looking for is they want to know, what is it that makes people happy? How can we get to the point where we're functioning at a really high level, we're super productive, we're really happy, and so they study this in a really methodical way. And so the big question is, what makes people happy? Okay, we can all think of moments in time when we've been happy, but this is not thinking of some kind of fading things. It's more so, how can you be consistently happy and have a happy, positive lifestyle? So that's kind of what we'll be talking about throughout this next week, and then a little bit in the week after that. So what we're going to focus on this week is Martin Seligman's 7 Habits of Happy People. And Martin Seligman is one of the big researchers in positive psych and the psychology of happiness. And so he has these 7 habits. One is express your heart, cultivate kindness, keep moving and eat well, find your flow, discover meaning, discover and use your strengths, and to treasure gratitude, mindfulness, and hope. So, what I'll do throughout the next 7 days is I'll talk about each one of these. So, we'll break them down, we'll talk about what they mean, what they look like, what studies have been done to kind of confirm them, and then mostly how you can apply it in your own life. I think if you look at some of them on the surface, it's probably a little obvious on why it would make someone happy, right? Like, keep moving and eating well is a really obvious one. Cultivating kindness is probably another one, but we want to dig into these at a more academic look and understand how he came up with these 7, how these 7 are proven to help people be happy, and ways that you can make small daily changes in your life to have these 7 habits and build those in mind. Okay, so what I want us to do today, let me move my head. You might not notice from far away, but my hair is growing really fast, and obviously I'm not going to a barber right now, so I think by the end of these videos I might have a little afro puffing out and pushing up on this headset. But for now, I think it's at an okay level. I usually like it a little shorter, but anyway. So here's what I want you to do today. First, I want you to take some time to set 3 goals for this week. Okay, so just lay out and draw out 3 goals. I want you to actually rate them. They should be meaningful. Okay, and meaningful means that it's significant enough to you that it will come up in your mind often, or it will be something that it will regularly stay in your kind of stream of consciousness, right? Where if you forget, your brain will be like, hey, you forgot about this thing. Hey, it can't be something that just is kind of basic, because then it won't be it won't be significant enough for your brain to remind you to think about it. Okay, it should obviously be attainable, so it should be something that you can actually do, something that you know is possible. Not necessarily that it's 100% guaranteed, because then there's really no motivation to do it. But it's more so, yes, this is something that I know that I can achieve if I do these certain steps. And then it should be really clear. So it shouldn't be a complicated multi-part goal. Just make it really simple and straightforward. This can be anything: academic, personal, social, spiritual. It doesn't really matter what kind of goal you set. I just want you to have 3. You can even choose 3 different ones. You can have one academic, one personal, one social. The next thing I want you to do is write them down. Okay, this is if you think of like something manifesting, when you write something down, you have now taken it from your brain and you have made it a real thing outside of your mind, and that's important. And that will help you process it in a different way, and that'll help you remember it as well. Okay, and then you can always go back to that. If you just think of it and don't write it down, sometimes you can forget and then it doesn't come back into your stream of consciousness until later. If you write it down and post it somewhere visible, then that can really help you remember. Then the last thing I want you to do is to make an action plan under each of them. This is short, it doesn't have to be super long, and share that with one person. Okay, so that can be a family member. You could even use me. You can email your goals and plan to me or a friend, and they'll be your accountability buddy. And what that means is you can ask, like, you should define what accountability looks like. For example, one accountability could be, hey, could you check in with me? Every day at 5 and see my progress? Or could you check in with me midweek Wednesday and then at the end of the week Friday to see how I've gone, how my goals have gone. So Wednesday could be a check-in saying, "Hey, it's midweek. How are things going?" Friday is, "Okay, we've gone 5 days. What have you accomplished, or how are you doing on your goals?" Okay, you can define how that looks, but having that other person can really help you stay on top of that. And obviously, you should post it somewhere visible. And so, let me share an example of what one of my goals for this week. All right, so let me move my head. So, one of my goals for this week is that I will complete Bible study twice a day. Okay. So, that's my goal. It is meaningful to me because my faith is important to me. It's attainable because it's certainly possible. Now, I haven't been able to be as consistent with it as I'd like. So, that kind of takes away the 100% certain that it will happen. And it's really clear, like it's straightforward. It has the tasks, it has a time limitation, and then it also has when I'm going to be doing it. So what I've done for an action plan is, excuse me, I've set 3 bullets. So one is I will set a reminder with an alarm on my phone. Another is I will keep my Bible and journal in a consistent visible location. And then I won't turn on my electronics or check social media until I finish morning Bible study. The benefit of that really is if you have those 3 tasks that you're going to do. So that's my action plan, right? Those are the things that I'm saying are going to help me do it, right? And my accountability buddies can be all of you because you're all watching this video. So that could be a really easy way to share that. You could also write this in paragraph form where you can say, my action plan is to do this, this, and this. It doesn't have to be 3 things. It can be 1, 5. Right? The action plan, I don't really care about the format. I'm more so concerned, or rather, I'm more focused on you just having some kind of way that you're going to make sure you do it, right? Give yourself some motivation and give yourself some tools that you can use to make sure that you complete the goal. And one of the things that they found in research on happiness is that if the goal is not 100% certain, it provides a little bit extra motivation. And two, the completion of goals can make you a happier person, which is why it's important to set them regularly, because you can give a sense of accomplishment to yourself and a sense of pride in knowing that A, I've done something that's important to me, and B, I was able to complete something. And especially at a time like right now where we have so much time in our days and things are really different, it's important to give yourself those daily wins. So one win could be, I remember to set the alarm on my phone. Okay. Another win could be, I woke up this morning and I didn't check my phone until I finished Bible study, right? Those daily little things that you can just say, hey, that was a win today. That was another win today. That will kind of keep you through this really tough time. So be sure to check this out and think about what those 3 goals are. I've also set up a Google Classrooms page where you can post your goals there if you want to have kind of an accountability partner that way. But let me know how things are going, not just with this, but just in general. If you just need someone to talk to, or you're looking for resources, or just want to tell me a funny story, that's fine. Those are the kind of small things that I miss about being in the classroom. So if you've got something good for me that happened over the weekend, or just want to share something that you found or read, you know where to find me. Have a great week, everybody.